Hi, I'm Mrs. McDonald. I'm out here in my yard and I wanted to show you the moon. I noticed it on my drive home tonight and it reminded me that I told one of my friends I would read the story called Goodnight Moon. Have you heard of it? Well, I'm going to read it to you now. Okay, so it's time to read this bedtime story. I'm reading it for my friend Laura and for you. If you look on the different pages that have the green, you'll be able to find a little mouse. Okay? So keep your eye out for it. Now, this book was written a long time ago. It was published first in 1947, which is before I was even born, so you know it's old. So lots and lots of people really like this story because they're still making books with this story. Even today, I've seen it in the store. Goodnight Moon by Margaret Wise Brown. Pictures by Clement Hurd. See if we can find the mouse before I start. Can you find it? Do you see it? Do you see it? I hope you found it. In the great green room, there was a telephone and a red balloon and a picture of the cow jumping over the moon. And there were 3 little bears sitting on chairs. And 2 little kittens, 1, 2, and a pair of mittens. And a little toy house and a young mouse. Do you see the young mouse? Do you see it? I'm helping you, aren't I? Oh, I can't help it. I have to help you. And a comb and a brush and a bowl full of mush and a quiet old lady who was whispering, hush, hush. Good night, room. See, the bunny is saying good night to his room. He's saying good night to all these things in his room. What would you say good night to in your room? Maybe you can look around and say good night to the things in your room. And see the mouse? Did you find it? Good night, moon. Good night, cow jumping over the moon. Good night, light and the red balloon. Good night, bears, and good night, chairs. Good night, kittens, and good night, mittens. Good night, clocks. Here's a clock. 1. There's a clock. Okay. And good night, socks. Look here. See how this was torn? That's because lots of kids in my family liked this book and one of them ripped it. So I had to fix it. I fixed it right up. Now, did we find the... Oh, did you find the mouse on this page? You see it? Hope you found it. Good night, little house. And good night, mouse. Good night, comb. And good night, brush. Oh, do you see him? Who's there? Good night, nobody. And good night, mush. And good night to the old lady whispering, hush, hush. Where's that mouse? Oh, see, the mouse is by the mush. It's really, really hard to see because it's dark in there. Good night, stars. Good night, air. Good night, noises everywhere. See our friend? Our friend's really easy to find now. Well, good night to you, and good night, moon.